So hello. The best way for me to make sure I have some creative content is for me to film all within the same day. And I do not want to change my clothes. Alright, so one of my favorite things to do back when I used to make videos back in high school was to just talk to the camera. I like to just chat. So can I sing to you? And by sing I mean talk. Look how good that focus is. Look how crusty that nail is. Boy. Ah. Ooh. Okay, so I'm gonna do some chitty chat videos where I'm pretty much just letting my stream of consciousness go free. And yeah, I'm gonna be doing this like every other week, so get ready, buckle your seatbelts, let's chat. If you want to join in on the conversation, just type in your motherfucking responses in the comments below or whatever, or you could like come on my channel, like we can talk to each other like one-on-one. If you want to talk, we can have conversation, anyways. So I really want to talk about eating and skincare and hair care and taking care of yourself, because it is something that I have been lacking. All right, so let me go back to in 2015. I used to eat pescatarian, and when I was eating pescatarian, I also woke up every day and I did like 30-minute yoga routine. I was walking all over Brooklyn, New York, like getting in 10 miles a day most days. Like I was so physically active and I was also so physically fit. As the days and years have gone on, like I feel like I have like maintained like a pretty healthy-ish diet, even up until like 2019, because I was mostly eating pescatarian. I do not eat pork. I don't eat red meat. I mostly just like eat chicken. The only times I will ever eat like pork or beef or whatever is like if it was an accident, or if I'm going somewhere like super cool, like, and someone is just like, oh, this is like to try something new is what I'm trying to say. But it's very, very rare. I would probably say that I have probably eaten pork and red meat maybe like once or twice a year at most. I don't count it, but whatever. Point is, I really haven't been taking care. The point that I was trying to get to is that I have not been taking care of my diet. There was a time in 2015 where I did, and a lot of the tools that I learned during that chunk of time that year, it kind of like brushed away throughout the past couple years. And then during the pandemic, which was incredibly hard, I feel like I talk about it often how difficult it was. I lost my dog just before the pandemic started, and then a little bit before, like days before the pandemic started, I learned, like lockdown started, I learned that my best friend for years had died, and I still don't even know what happened to her, and everyone outside is dying, and I'm grieving the first loss of someone, that like losing someone for the first time that I've loved so much. I thought that my window was cracked, but it was just a reflection. It was hard. It was a very difficult year, and I just fell into like my comfort zones. I love food. I love cooking. I love making fancy schmancy drinks. Those are my absolute favorite things to do. And during the pandemic, I had the time, I had the money, and I clearly I had the skill. So I was making myself food, comfort foods that made me feel comfortable, and I was able to do it as often as I wanted. And I would cook meals and be like, hey family, eat this food, and everybody would be like, I'm not gonna eat that. So I would end up eating like a lot of the foods that I was making by myself. So if I was making cinnamon rolls, I'll make like 15 cinnamon rolls, and everyone in my family eats maybe one, and then next I have like 10. I really messed up my math there, but basically I had like a bunch of cinnamon rolls or meals that I can eat all to myself, that it was just like too much. So I spent a lot of the year of 2020 overeating. A lot of us did, life happens. that shit happens for a lot of people during the pandemic. Our diets definitely fluctuated. I was definitely eating more than I was exercising. And whereas like before, like I was eating junk food, which I was definitely eating junk food when I was working in retail. I was still physically active. Like I'm running back and forth during my shift. I'm going all the way out to Manhattan to work my job. Like, yeah, I was physically active. But you know, at home you weren't active. You just at home just eating whatever. And I also still I have difficulties like really trying to understand like nutrition and what exactly a nutritious meal is and how to incorporate that into my diet. It's like I know the base level of it, but it's been difficult to incorporate it. And yeah, I remember back in 2015, like when I was eating healthy, my hair was growing like crazy. My skin was glowing. And once again, I was fit, girl. I was a fit baddie. Like it was nice. And I really want to get back to that moment where I felt so comfortable in my body, and I also was like getting in all the nutritious foods that I needed. The difference between now and then is that I had shmoney at that time. There are moments in your life, like I feel like eating healthy is so much easier when you have money. And not always, not for a lot of people, but I know that I have a bougie taste. My family raised me to be bougie. So like if I am like, oh yeah, I want to eat healthy, I would like to have a kombucha every day. Kombucha's really expensive. I would like to have a variety of fruits that I can eat throughout the day. I would like, there was something that I was going to mention. Oh yeah, I love my vegan yogurts. There is one specific vegan yogurt that I love to get, and that should be $8. And I swear I can eat that thing up in like 3 meals, which no, it's definitely a little bit over like the small portion size that they have, but because those are like $1, maybe 2, and just whatever math. But like it would be so nice for me to figure out. Everyone is distracting me. I'm here. I want to get back into a healthier diet. I want to figure out the best ways that I can take care of my body. And I also want to do it in a way that I am still satisfying my love of cooking, my love of making fancy drinks, my love of all of that jazz. And I'm on a journey to figure out how. I want to eat more fruits. I want clear skin. I plan on doing something very special in September, and I want to have enough stamina for me to do what I want to do, you know. The other day I went on this like really long walk with my sister and my niece, and we walked all around Prospect Park, and it was really nice. It was very, I'm trying to think of a different word other than nice, but it was a nice walk. It was nice. It was long. It was something that I would do sporadically, or like I say sporadically, but I used to do it pretty often with my friends because we were just out of high school. There's nothing really for us to do, and if the sun's out, we were out and we were walking and we were riding bikes and doing all these like fun things. And I feel like I don't currently have a lifestyle where doing those active things are kind of like, you know, normal. I mostly spend my time sitting at my desk right here, getting some writing done and organizing my time and scheduling this and editing that and doing that type of stuff. And I want to change my life. I want to incorporate some active things in my life. And I feel like now that I'm saying all this, I think I might like record it, or at least do some posts on Instagram and like do like a highlights just showing like getting back into a fitness routine. I feel like that might be even more convenient because I'm not gonna like shame myself at all for my eating habits or how I was during 2020 and 2021, because those 2 years were incredibly difficult. Like 2020 and 2021 were incredibly difficult years, and the best ways that I was able to get through it was eating whenever, eating for convenience, and also just being at whatever physical level that I needed to be. But I feel like things are changing. Like, I feel like I can easily choose to be more active and choose to put fitness over. All right, I'm not going through all of that. I was gonna say fitness over like everything else, but like no. I can sit at my desk and make sure I have fruits and nuts and whatever for me to eat as I'm snacking, instead of what I've been doing instead, which is just like not eating. And not eating when you're hungry is also incredibly dangerous, because sometimes I don't be wanting to get up. I don't be wanting to get up to go and figure out what the hell I'm going to eat. I had one week where I meal prepped, and it was so amazing. And I meal prepped like a healthy meal. I had like burrito bowls. I made fresh pico de gallo. And I also actually, I think it was more like a corn salsa kind of thing. And I had avocados, and I added that. I had black beans, and I had some white rice that I made really good. And it was just delicious. It was a completely delicious meal. And I feel like, my camera's overheating, but meal prepping will be definitely a really good way for me to make sure that I'm getting into nutrition. And now that I have the food component down, well, not down, at least a little bit thought out, I really need to figure out how I'm going to get physical exercise into my day-to-day, because I hate going to the gym. And I know that in doing a physical activity, it will be really nice for me to have someone who can go along with me when I'm doing certain things. Or maybe I'll carve out some time to just be like, okay, I'm gonna listen to this book and go on a long walk. I don't know. I'm starting it out, but I really do like yoga. I want to get into weightlifting. I have a pole. I can't see it in my room. It's like in the corner, but I bought a pole in order for me to get into pole dancing, but I can't put it into the house because my ceiling was built by two alcoholics, so not a good idea. But you know, I'm starting it out, I'm figuring it out. The past 2 years were incredibly difficult, and I really cherish and commend anybody who is going to try and get themselves back on track. This is also in relation to the book that I read. Savvy Sheldon Feels Good as Hell. She's a plus size woman who gets a reality check, and not a reality check. Sorry, I don't mean that. I do not mean that. I mean it, but then I don't mean it in like a negative way. Like, you know how sometimes like you kind of don't realize how much you're not taking care of yourself. I feel like that's something that kind of happened. She just kind of like, things kind of clicked for her, and so she started putting herself first. She started taking care of her health and taking care of her mind and taking care of just putting herself first. And I feel like that's something that I really need to do. I need to start putting myself first, putting my health first, putting my needs first, because the past 2 years I've definitely been putting a lot of other things before my own health, and I would like to change that. And I feel like I need to go on like a healthcare montage. My camera is about to overheat, so I'm gonna stop for a second and I'll be back. All right, so as I rambled on about health and stuff like that, I realized that I'm gonna do a cute little series. Maybe I'll give like a monthly update on my diet for the month. What nutritious things am I adding into my diet, how I'm learning about taking better care of myself, what kind of fitness routines have I gotten myself into. I live in New York, and I want to get some, go to some programs or whatever that's free that I can go to and get some fitness in on. And I would love it if I had people to come with me, but that's also okay. Everyone has their own place, their own pace, and I feel like I really need to work on doing things by myself, for myself, and being consistent in that way, because though I like having someone to kind of keep me on track, doesn't seem like that's something that will happen as often as I would like it to. And in order for me to have a good fitness routine, leaning on someone who might change their mind on a day that I really want to go won't be beneficial to me and my growth. So working on that confidence, working on that going solo kind of energy. And to end things off, not eating very healthy and not taking good care of myself has definitely ruined up my menstrual cycle. When I'm on my period, I am even more hormonal. My emotions go really up and down. I have really bad cramps some days that can be so debilitating that I don't want to get out of bed, or I can get out of bed and then after a while, like today, I'm already ready to lay back in bed and it's 3 o'clock. So yeah, I'm gonna be on a journey to taking better care of myself because I deserve it. For the skincare, for the hair care, for the menstruation, and for better stamina, Janae will be eating healthier. Obviously, good heart health, good for your mental health, it's good for every kind of thing that's ever going on in your body and your life. For you to eat healthier and take better care of yourself. But yeah, if you want to join me on the journey, I don't actually care if people like me doing these long ass like winded talks or whatever, because they help me so much. They help me process things. It's just like talking into the air, and I can only get feedback like much later in the day and after I had this whole conversation. Like that's when I get the feedback versus like having a conversation with somebody and they kind of like talk to you before you gotta get to your point. I need to talk through things. This is how my brain works. And I like that I have a platform for me to, post it. Anyways, I'm going to watch Kingsman and lay in bed. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you next week. Bye.